So it is Bible fairy tale time with a story of murder and theft with King Ahab and the vineyard. So once upon a time, there was a king of Israel called Ahab who wanted a man to give him his vineyard. But when the man refused to give Ahab his vineyard, Ahab got so upset that he went to bed, put his face to the wall and refused to eat, acting like a spoilt toddler. So in other words, acting like God. Now, when Ahab's wife Jezebel found out about this, she told him that she would get him the vineyard. So she got two men to pretend that the owner of the vineyard had blasphemed against God. Then the owner was stoned to death and Ahab stole his vineyard. Which, to be honest, does seem fair, as given all of the contradictions in the Bible, everybody is blaspheming against God in some way every second of the day, including God. In fact, well, given the fact that God contradicts himself with almost everything that he says, then nobody blasphemes more against God than God himself, and he should probably stone himself to death. Or at least smoke enough weed to chill the F out. Now, when God found out that the owner had been stoned to death, because while, yes, God technically is supposed to be all-knowing, I suspect it's a bit like us with the internet, where, yes, technically we have all of the world's knowledge at our fingertips, but like us with the internet, God just tends to use his all-knowing to ask people to follow him and only him on his version of social media before watching some strangers having sex. But anyway, when God found out about the stoning, he got Elijah the prophet to tell Ahab that God would bring calamity down upon him, take away his wealth, and make the dogs eat his wife. Because as evidenced by the history of the Bible, God's more into perpetrating, well, more misery and murder than he is into stopping the misery and murder from happening in the first place. In fact, it seems like the commandment, "Thou shalt not kill," is just there so that there are enough people left over for God to murder personally. Now, when Ahab found out what God wanted to do to him, he was so terrified that he tore off his clothes, put on a sack, and fasted and mourned. And when God saw this, he decided that he would not bring punishment and calamity down during Ahab's days, but instead bring the punishment and calamity down during Ahab's sons' days, even though Ahab's sons had had nothing to do with the murder or the theft. Proving that, in God's eyes, you can commit any atrocity that you want as long as you have a son to sacrifice. Which I guess may give us the real reason for the existence of Jesus. God said, go screw, get down and dirty while you're doing the do. God said, go bang, go slam in every way you can. Yes, God said, go screw. Make sure you call out